As excitement builds for the blockbuster showdown between Canelo Alvarez and Terence Crawford, many respected voices in the boxing world are sounding the alarm. They warn that the Mexican superstar could be facing a far tougher challenge than he might be expecting.
And Canelo only need one punch. You know what I mean? That really, basically, that's what it boils down to. I think Canelo only need one shot to change the game or change the fight. Crawford gonna have to stay consistent and win out. Gonna have to get ahead and stay ahead. You know what I mean? And then also looming is the controversy. Can Crawford win a close decision? I could never win a close decision. I never won a close decision. That's what's looming. I think if Crawford is gonna guarantee victory, he gotta stop him.
A man who ain't been stopped.
He gotta stop him, bro.
It's a challenge.
So that's gonna be the challenge. So I like Bud. I've always loved Bud, bro. But he in for a hell of a fight. If Saul show up, it's gonna be a problem.
Liam Smith, a seasoned fighter from Liverpool who once shared the ring with Canelo, has openly stated that while the Mexican champion should beat Crawford, it won't come easy. Smith, who fought Canelo in 2016 and was stopped in the 9th round by a devastating body shot, believes Alvarez is treating this matchup with the seriousness it deserves. He pointed out that Canelo has even brought in top welterweight contender Jaron Ennis for sparring. Clear proof he's not taking Crawford lightly. Echoing Smith's sentiments, former WBC light welterweight champion Regis Prograis also weighed in. While acknowledging Crawford's talent, Prograis argued that age and size could play a decisive role. At 35, Canelo is still the younger man in this fight, and Prograis stressed that Alvarez's natural strength and size, forged against bigger men like Sergey Kovalev and Gennady Golovkin, will give him the edge. Though Crawford's sharpness and power are undeniable, Prograis suggested that Canelo's size, experience, and comfort at super middleweight will ultimately swing things in his favor.
The ability to outbox Canelo. You gotta look at, and then Canelo's older. Crawford has the ability, but he's small, and he can look bigger Crawford could look bigger in the weigh-ins and all that stuff, but it's always a difference. When you get that fight with somebody, you can tell. Same thing with Jamel. Jamel fought him, the twin, he fought Crawford, and in all the stuff, the weigh-ins and the press conference, Jamel looked like the bigger man. His head, his neck, everything looked bigger, but when they got in the fight, you can tell. You can see who really was the bigger man, and I think that's the same thing. Crawford is putting on weight, but it's not weight. Like Canelo had the weight already. He doesn't have to put on muscle. He doesn't have to do that. He's already big like that. But I think that Crawford does have the style. He does have the style to beat him. If you look at the people that beat him or gave him trouble, Erislan, DeLaura, Austin Trout, Floyd, and Bivol. They gave him trouble and stuff like that. And Skull moved around a little bit too. So I think that Crawford has that. But I don't know how Crawford is gonna respond when he gets hit. Same thing with Jamel. Jamel was undisputed at 154, and Canelo hit him and shit. Jamel was like, hell no. Jamel took a knee. So it's a big difference. And Crawford had that one fight at 154, and he didn't. Madrimov would touch him up a little bit. And this is nowhere close to Madrimov. You talk about Canelo. Now, if it was just another bigger guy, I would go with Crawford. But you talk about this might be. People might kill me for it, but well, not really, but this might be the best.
On the other hand, Jeff Horn, who has faced both Canelo and Crawford in the ring, has a more optimistic view of Crawford's chances. Horn, who was stopped by Crawford and knocked out by Canelo, believes that Crawford's unique fighting style gives him a serious advantage. According to Horn, Crawford's ability to control range, lure opponents into mistakes, and make them walk onto his punches could be the key to cracking Canelo's armor. He describes Crawford as not just a technical genius, but also a master of timing, capable of using his opponent's momentum against them. Horn insists that what makes Crawford truly dangerous is not just his accuracy, but his ability to adapt and make every landed punch matter.
I don't know if it's even been done before like this, but I don't think anyone's been successful at least at it. But he's got to. It's going to be tough. Like, I don't know how he's going to do it. But I just know Crawford is so smart in that boxing ring that if anyone's to do it, he's definitely someone that can do it. So the weight stuff should be a rule, and it is in boxing that you're just not meant to jump it. You're not meant to jump multiple weight divisions like he's doing. But if it's Terence Crawford and he's smart out there and he knows what Canelo has to offer, because Canelo's he's jumped up from weight divisions too. Like, he used to be a welterweight a fairly long time ago.
Perhaps the most vocal believer in Crawford's chances is former world champion Amir Khan. Having shared the ring with both men, Khan has first-hand experience of their strengths. He was brutally knocked out by Canelo in 2016, while his 2019 clash with Crawford ended in a TKO after his corner stopped the fight following a low blow. Khan admits that Alvarez possesses raw power like no other, but he maintains that Crawford's superior ring IQ and adaptability make him dangerous. In Khan's view, Crawford has the brains and craft to not only withstand Canelo's power, but also outthink him in the ring.
I always said, look, both fighters are great. They're both great at what they do. I thought Canelo, he was easier to hit. He had slow feet, but fast hands. I never expected him to have the fast hands he had. And obviously, he has a lot of power. So that's one thing Crawford has to worry about, the size and the power. But then again, I saw a picture of Crawford where he was weighing around about 180 pounds, looked strong, looked big. And I think he holds the weight well. And he's another fighter that's very strong, very powerful. So, you know what? I do lean more towards Crawford in this fight because he's the more fresher fighter. He's not been in too many wars like Canelo's been in. But look, like I said, this is a top level boxing, so I don't know who's going to win. But like I said, I do lean more towards Crawford.
Boxing legend Roy Jones Jr. has also offered his insight on this matchup. He argues that Crawford represents the perfect example of how a smaller, highly skilled fighter can overcome the size of a bigger man. While boxing tradition often favors the larger fighter, Jones stressed that exceptions always exist, and Crawford may be one of them. He praised Crawford's elite skill set, which has already made him undisputed champion in 2 weight classes, and suggested that these abilities could very well carry him past Canelo despite the size difference. Jones's perspective reflects the growing belief among fans and analysts that Crawford's sharp mind and ability to adjust could be the ultimate equalizer in this fight.
I don't think Terence dealing with much of anything because Terence did like I did as a heavyweight. He bulked up to the weight. He been dealing with super middles and light heavyweights in training. If you can deal with them in training, you can deal with them in the fight. So the weight should not even be an issue.
Do you think Terence is that one fighter where he could accomplish what a lot of people are thinking is not doable? Is he that one fighter who's just wired and has that different DNA?
He is, and not only to mention is he the guy that can, he's already done it. How many 2 or 3 division undisputed champions have we ever had besides Usyk is a 2 division undisputed champ? This dude is a 3 division undisputed champ already, and if he win this, he'll be a 4 division undisputed champ. We may never see that again. See, people don't like to celebrate the reality when it's happening. They'll wait till the person dead and they talk about it. This man is the only 3 division undisputed champion that boxing has ever had. And we're asking, are we wondering, can he step up to a task? Really? Do you know who we're talking about? A good big guy does beat a good bad guy, but a great little guy, does beat a great small guy, but a great small guy beats a good big guy. We might be talking about a great small guy here. We'll find out after this fight, but we might be talking about, which I think we already are, but I think we're not talking about a good small guy. I think we're talking about a great small guy. You understand me? So this great small guy, like you saw with me, a great small.
Meanwhile, Dmitry Bivol, the man responsible for Canelo's most recent loss, believes Crawford has what it takes to pull off the upset, but he cautions against underestimating the challenge. Bivol, who dominated Canelo in May 2022, explained that while Crawford's talent is unquestionable, moving up to super middleweight brings more than just physical hurdles. He highlighted the mental challenges that come with stepping into a new division, stressing that Crawford must not only adapt to Canelo's power, but also prepare mentally for the unfamiliar territory of fighting at a heavier weight.
About size of Crawford, is it okay for him to move up for 2 weight classes, yeah. And he has very good skill. He able to win this fight. But there is a lot of but, and even not but, there is a lot of things, small things, which we don't know how he will deal with this. He need to get used to the power and pressure of 168. Maybe he will get used to it, and how he will be feeling himself on the same day when he will fighting, how his training camp will go on, a lot of things. But he's able, he has good skills, he's awkward, he can use 2 boxing stance. It gives him benefits.
Despite those warnings, many still back Crawford as the more technically refined fighter. Former champion Carl Frampton is among those firmly convinced that Crawford will win, citing his ability to dismantle opponents with precision and adaptability. For Frampton, Canelo no longer looks like the unstoppable force he once was, and the hunger that once drove his dominance seems to have faded. He believes Crawford's sharp ring craft, timing, and intelligence will be enough to dethrone the Mexican icon. Frampton's verdict strengthens the growing belief that this high-stakes clash may ultimately come down to Crawford's unmatched boxing IQ.
I think it's a great fight. It may not be the best fight in the world to watch, you know. I think that for Crawford to win, it'll have to be a boring fight. I think he uses distance in his movement, but I think Canelo's feet are a little bit slower now than they used to be. I think Crawford wins. I said it when he beat Errol Spence and everybody laughed at me. I said it that long ago. And I genuinely believe that